Trouble keeping up with the Joneses? It's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, Aaron Jones, no picnic a week ago. He's looking for another big game, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, historic Lambeau Field. Fittingly, it butts up against Lombardi Avenue here in the heart of Green Bay, Wisconsin. No team means more to a city than the Packers to Green Bay, and this was the scene a few moments ago as the green and gold made their way out of the historic tunnel. They're ready to go as they get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. From up top, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles Davis, as always, with me as well. And CD, defenses better be on their toes in this one because we got two quarterbacks who love to throw the football, and they throw it very well.
Over 4,000 yards each in the previous season. So what you're saying is, if you're a defender, hope you're prepared properly. Hydrated, stretched, be on your toes, as you said, because the ball's coming your way.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Out come the Vikings with Kirk Cousins leading the way. Cousins surprisingly efficient in his first season as a member of the Vikings. He hit on better than 70% of his passes, second only to Drew Brees, and was actually just the 6th ever NFL quarterback to finish a season above that 70% mark. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And a pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Zadarius Smith with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. The Packer offense led by number 12, Aaron Rodgers. And the Pack in an unfamiliar position this year. They have not made the playoffs for 2 years running. 6-9-1 a year ago. And now with a new head coach in Matt LaFleur, no guarantee certainly that they'll play meaningful football in January this year. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
Well, we looked at each other. way. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
319, 54. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl. Hey, 626. Check, watch the 399.
Rodgers now on first down. This is caught. The numbers in last week's game for Graham. 5 catches, 72 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
319, jump out. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Hey, box truck. 399.
Rodgers now to throw. He hauls it in. Valdez-Scantling for the Packers touchdown. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down.
I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, who is this guy? He's special. And he said, dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field.
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns. They run again on first down. Cook. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Under 10.
Cousins gives way to Cook. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice, that it all came together. But I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Rodgers going to throw. It's caught here by Adams. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to strike quickly for 6. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 17 carries, 71 yards.
How about we shine a little spotlight on the offensive line? Those big guys up front are creating nice space, nice gaps for them to run through. I think he's going to go for over 100 yards in this game.
From the 29, Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long for Cousins. Trying to lay one up deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago, and they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limited to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers rolling to his right. Looking deep for Adams. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there, wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Rodgers. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Powering his way forward. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle. Well, look now at our starting defense. They come into this one 9th in the NFL against the run.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Now a play fake here on first down. And Graham's got it. Complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give them 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. Now a first down carry by Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose. And the ball ends up out of bounds, so it'll be a loss on the play.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Now Rodgers. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way? I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A toss to Cook. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. $17-0 our score after 1. On play action, Cousins. He completes it to Treadwell. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw, Cousins. It's caught by Treadwell. And he's taken down inside the 30. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. The tackle made by Blake Martinez. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
At the 22-yard line. 50, my 50. And we're pretty quiet, deep.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And this one to Treadwell, complete.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So Cousins heads to the Vikings sideline, and on is Dan Bailey to try the field goal. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. Bailey's kick is good. And they're on the board at least here. It's now 17-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers, the connection made. It's Graham. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a 1st.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
That's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Throwing now is Rodgers. And he finds his tight end, Graham. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Open here is Allison. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 12-yard line. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. That's a lot of time that they put in on it. It's not just your static 1, 2, 3. This is where the ball goes anymore.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Rodgers, escaping the pressure right. And the Packers are in for the score.
Well, this was a pass all the way, but he just kept buying time, didn't he? It was kind of like, wait. Oh, it's open. Time to hot-foot it and go. And, boy, was he successful.
Yeah, didn't go to the outside toward the pylon, just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So that drive in total 8 plays, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. It's an 8-yard pickup, and just like that, it's third down. The Vikings on third down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. To throw is Cousins. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. On second down, it's Jones. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Rodgers now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And how about this, a fake? But he will not make the first down marker, and that'll be a turnover on downs. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Cousins. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 7 yards there and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Cousins. His pass caught at the 4. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Again, it's Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Darnell Savage, the rookie from Maryland.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try to add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way. I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
This time they stay on the ground. And he's going to be marked down short of the first down, right around the 17. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it is the Chargers who have the lead in the second quarter. Melvin Gordon with 2 touchdown runs. From there, it's over to our nation's capital to check on the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott has run for a touchdown there. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And this one going the visitors' way as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. Kyler Murray, 2 touchdown passes thus far. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has run for another. As for the call of the second half, we turn things back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter.
Let's go, baby.
So here are the Packers now to take over. They were winners a week ago over the Bears, and they lead things here as well as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. The second half starts with a carry by Jones. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Again, it's Jones. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Here we go. Here we go. Inside.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st down, it's Jones. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Rodgers on the money to the tight end, Graham. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he finds Jimmy Graham. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Let's go.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. A first carry now for the BYU man. It's Jamal Williams. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. Play action. Now it's Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Okay, over here.
This is Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
That's it, baby. We go,
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question is, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your quarterback? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, they've done a good job on these receivers, pretty much held them in check. They're a little too close for comfort.
And you're always looking for a play to get you going, right? You're looking for someone to make one. But maybe this penalty, this pass interference call, that can help shake them loose.
Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big... defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he's going to be stopped just short of the first down marker at the Vikings 35.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
319, 54.
I can't believe they let you play.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Not only was the call spot on, How about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gap. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
In your face.
Play action now. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack.
Tremendous read and reaction by the defensive tackle, and frankly, partner, it's not that often the DTs have that type of easy access back to the quarterback. Never bought the play action fade.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part...
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
18. 54. Right, 54. Let's go. Get on.
They'll run on first down. It's Jones, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check, 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 check. Shift. Watch the shift.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
It's now third down and 9 yards to go.
The Packers on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 9. On third down, Jones. And he'll take this to the 47, but no further, as they get him down well short of the line to gain. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Here we go.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there,
Cousins on first down. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's Cousins. And the catch made by Johnson. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And this one to Treadwell, complete. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They're not ready for this. They still playing.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To the air again, it's Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and that will extend this big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Back to it after the pick six. Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Cousins now. He'll find Thielen working the middle. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Cousins to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Draw play, Cousins to Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. This is taken at about the 14. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Danielle Hunter able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Complete. This is Lewis. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball,
get a completion.
You get a catch, but still,
no yardage.
Okay.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
.46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Fielded at about the 28. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
Let's go, baby. Shift.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To throw, Cousins. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. A 1st down throw for Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Cousins again. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 30.
Let's go.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defense. Think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off usually after about 3 to 4 steps and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. The end result, 21 yards.
Good route, good pickup for 1st down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop.
And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his 1st touchdown of the new season, and the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Cut. Flipper doing it. Over, Flipper doing it.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I like the idea to Mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Alert flare. Check 99, check 99. White left.
Third down, Jones. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line. That'll be good for 6, but now it's fourth down.
Well, they got off the field on third down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He's been terrific so far. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And they'll go ahead and down this one right on the chalk of the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
And out now come the Vikings. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
It's just me and you.
Throwing, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on third down. To throw is Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. He's picked off at his own 46. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what are you doing when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Crosby with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows, you may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Packers, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.